Welcome to Session 3 of Lost Tower of Xirus, a 2d20 Conan actual play featuring the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop by Nerd Eye Industries. Disclaimer, this is a beginner game, meaning that some of the players are new to Conan, the 2d20 system, Fantasy Grounds, or all three. So there will be some instruction done during gameplay. Also, those of you who are watching live and want to help the PCs out can do so. For 50 bits, you can give the group one momentum over their normally allotted 6. So if you want them to get more than 6 momentum, you can actually do that for the group. Or for the same amount, you can give the GM one due. And then for every new subscriber during the game, all players will get 1 fortune point. So let's go ahead and get reacquainted with the players.
Well, that would make me. My name is B, and I'm going to be playing Varg. Varg is murderer. Varg has many thoughts about things, but Varg considers Varg's actions pretty justified.
Okay.
No regrets, not a single letter.
No.
That makes me Morgan, and I play Cornelia, who's just the most wonderful, sheltered little bug in all the world, and she's gotten a little drunk last episode and then found out some family secrets that she's really excited to dig into, and has no idea that there was a brutal murder just distance away from her, committed by her friends, but that's okay.
My name is Leslie, and I'm playing Adama tonight. And Adama is perhaps loyal to a fault, as we discovered in the last game when she joined Varg in the murder, death, kill upstairs, and also has no regrets. Maybe.
We made friend afterwards.
I mean,
She is great. Look at her. Tiny, useful, friendly.
That makes me Michael. I am playing Kett, the aged barbarian, I guess kind of impromptu old guy of the group. And he spent, I believe, the last episode basically kind of keeping an eye on Cornelia, but also introducing her to, horrible drink, greasy meat pies, and then escorting her to the basement where she learned interesting things about her parents. So we'll see what happens next. Here on Conan, the Lost Tower of Xirus.
There you go. All right. So last time, so the 3 mercenaries, Adama, Kett, and Varg, were tasked with the protection detail of guarding Cornelia, the granddaughter of a prominent Corajan noble. Instead of the planned trip to Argos, Cornelia convinced the others to help investigate the mysterious death of her parents. They escorted her to a seedy roadhouse and inn called the Kal Shazma. Varg was approached by a kidnapper who had abducted a Shemite woman from her husband and was looking for someone to pay the ransom. Varg and Adama killed the man, his accomplice, and the hostage when it came out that the whole thing was a grift. Kett and Cornelia met with a man named Arraq in the back room of a backroom Lotus Den, where it was revealed that the drug dealer and info broker was holding something of Cornelia's father's in trust, an ancient-looking golden urn with a large jewel set into the lid. Arraq told Cornelia that approximately a day or so ago, a Stygian had inquired about the urn and also a quote-unquote key to it. Arraq sent the man away and said that if he was in truth a Stygian, I'll eat my hat. So we will open with Varg and Adama returning downstairs to the tavern with the strange girl Padre in tow.
So what do we do with small human? Varg would like to perhaps bring them some bread rolls.
perhaps some food would be a good idea. Although, we can just ask her if she's hungry, right?
Yes. Excuse me, tiny human of name I've already forgotten. Varg would like to know if you are hungry.
Okay, she gives you kind of a squinty-eyed look. It's like she understands what you're saying, but it's not. It's like she's processing it, and then she shakes her head and says, "I think I'm okay, but but I mean I would not want to be rude."
It's all right,
Come,
Padre.
sit with Varg and friend, and we will talk while we look for other friends, because they are not where we left them. Varg would like to know where they have gone.
Okay.
That was my question. Where did they go?
Yes. All the manlets, Varg sees remain, but no friends, none.
Yeah. So yeah, their seats are empty, and yeah, the as you recall, may or may not recall, the bartender was this rather top-heavy, like burly person, and she was just grabbing like multiple steins at a time and setting them down, and the wait staff would come like circle through and like scarf up these steins and move, so that they're still there, and kind of watch you walk up with the little one, but doesn't say anything.
Just remember, manlets are friends you haven't met yet.
I see truth in this.
Varg, I'm starving. Is it all right if we get some food? I know we need to find our friends, but if I don't eat something... it's not
Varg would
good.
like a food break. Bread
Right.
rolls. Lots of bread rolls. You, and they will point, or he will point to the pre-described individual, who's probably very busy.
Well, yeah, but that not so much that they're not going to, tend to you. So they turn and give you a look, like, yes.
Varg would like some bread rolls and extra bread rolls for the one who will not eat them. And Adama, you wanted
Right, like half a dozen, please.
more bread rolls, please.
Oh, you need
Varg
to
insists.
Olive Garden.
That's all you can eat.
We
Right?
burned a
Exactly.
lot of energy
Listen,
doing what we
killing
did.
makes me hungry, all right?
Varg understands.
All right, so she kind of motions for one of the servers to come, and they walk over with a pan of bread rolls, meat-filled bread rolls, and you can take as many as you like. And then the bartender kind of looks at you and says, doesn't even really pay attention to the little girl, but then just kind of points to their right towards the door to the far right. There's a doorway with a staircase going down, and said, "Your friends went there."
Ah, thank you. Would you like a bread roll for more information? Varg could just offer bread roll for free. Varg must pay for roll anyways. It's up to you.
She smiles and she says, "Just buy another ale, and you can know whatever you want."
Varg agrees.
All right, sets down another dark stout in front of you, and says, "What do you need to know?" And remember, there were 3 musicians up top. They were playing. They've actually they've ended their set and are now like wandering around, talking to people. And it looks like one of them is going around with a hat in their hand, like collecting money, and the other 2 are like going and getting drinks.
Okay. Varg has some questions about what is the word that you call your people and patrons? Varg would like to know about some patrons that were here. 2 men that Varg sat with at table, they approached me. What happened? What information could you tell me if they disappeared? What would happen to this place, say?
Okay.
Is Varg's question clear? I sometimes mix up words,
Right. Let's see. Let's have Varg roll a linguistics check.
No.
Then we'll see if you are getting your point across. So I am looking for one success. That's all you need. Oh, I need
Okay.
to get I forgot you have 0 momentum in the pool right now, and I have 12 doom. So you can add to your dice right now by giving me points of doom, or you can just roll the base 2d20.
I mean, it's a fail regardless. I'm sorry. Is linguistics?
Yes, it's in your character sheet. It's under intelligence.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd click that 6. You actually got 1 success.
Was it a 1 success?
That was your
Was
your
that what I
DC.
needed?
Yes.
Oh my word.
So
I think Varg is just really charming.
yes, she seems a little smitten with Varg, maybe. Although she seemed a little smitten by Kett earlier, but maybe she's just
I get it.
Maybe she's just easily smitten,
there you go. So
Maybe she's just keeping her options open.
That's
right? I mean,
Hard
you
for
never-
a lady in this time.
That's right. You never know. Yeah, you got to leave all options on the table, right? So she's looking at Varg, and she kind of has a little twinkle in her eye, and she says, "If something happened to them," and she looks right down at your hand, because I mean, obviously,
Or my otherwise white coat, which is now a shade of
yeah,
dark red, brown?
maybe, yeah, or at least has some splatters on it, and she smiles and she says, "Well, Northerner, there's a price for everything. It's just a matter of are you willing to pay it or not?" And then she kind of, like, with very lightly, just kind of caresses the top of your hand with her finger.
Varg misunderstands. Varg has some coins still.
Coins are good too. They work.
Varg will have to confer. Adama? Can you translate, perhaps?
Yes, of course.
So she
Right.
and so then also when she's doing this, she kind of actually, because the people who you have murdered were actually sitting in the far corner of the room. They haven't they actually have some things still sitting there, like as if they were intending on coming back eventually. So like their food and like maybe a dagger or two is just like laying on the table.
Cloak.
Or a cloak, exactly. So her eyes kind of turn towards that table and then look back at you. Like she knows who you're talking about. I mean, there's no doubt about it. She knows exactly who you're talking about, and she's not dumb. It looks like on her face, she knows what happened.
So Adama is going to lean over to Varg and do the Varg. You can give her a coin, or I think you can just entertain her later. If you get my meaning.
Varg understands. Thank you. Varg is very flattered, but if Varg is honest, Varg prefers... and then he'll take a moment to look around the bar and point out maybe like the cutest manlet.
Okay. All right.
That is Varg's preferences. So Varg will offer coin if Varg may.
All right. And she smiles and she says, "Oh," and she looks at the manlet, looking back at you and says, "I'm sure my brother would probably pay your fee for you."
Varg likes this agreement. Consume some more bread rolls.
Just munching on bread rolls, drinking your ale.
So good.
Okay.
pointing out manlets.
I'll take 4.
Great day for Varg. Really.
Great.
That one looks fine.
Oh
This
my
one
God.
pleases me.
Like, oh god.
This one pleases me.
All right. Perhaps we can handle that a bit later. Should we go find our friends? Like
Right.
Yes.
Varg forgot. Yeah, okay.
Adama's like stuffing like bread rolls in her mouth, like she's just pointing.
Understandable.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the bartender, she nods when you say, maybe we should go find our friends. She puts her hand like almost like in front of the little girl, not like, like touching her, but just kind of like indicating like she shouldn't move. And when she points back again to the stairs going down, she says they went that way. And then she looks at Adama and shakes her head and says, "It is no place for a child."
Right. I'll stay with Padre. How about if you go find our friends? All right.
Fine. Varg would have loved to stay and admire your brother. And he'll gesture back to the bartender, but Varg has duty to perform.
Almost like butter.
slowly he will shuffle off of the bar stool and kind of like dragging his feet, make his way to the other entrance and down.
Like Charlie Brown music playing.
Right. Right.
Oh,
Get head
lovely.
down. Yeah. So as you're making your way, Adama, you're sitting there next to the child, and she sees all of this, and then she looks at you and she says, "Why am I not allowed down there? What lies down
Honestly,
there that is not for children to see, where murder is good enough for me to see?"
This is a very good question.
Actually, she says bloodletting. She doesn't say murder. She says bloodletting.
That's a fair question.
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure the answer, honestly. But let's go get the things from the table. She takes her over to the table.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, so you walk over to the table yeah, there's like we said, there's some money. There's just a little bit of a smattering of coins, maybe 2 gold worth, and a cloak, fairly nice dagger it's still in its sheath. It looks like it has some ornamental guild work and things like that on it. Looks pretty fancy. Didn't match what the either one of them was wearing, so very likely it was stolen, or it's relatively new. It's not like it's old and worn down. And then of course there's their food, and it's still warm, and it's all right there. It looks like 3 helpings of food. So you're eating their food? Okay.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Why not? Okay, so Varg, you are going downstairs. So let's transition you downstairs. And we will go to the other map. All right, so now. Okay, so we've got Cornelia was standing in front of. There you go. Yeah, let's place your characters where you were, if you recall.
Oh wait, where's my oh god.
You can.
Where's my thing?
I think you should be able to.
Top left corner of the of Fantasy Grounds.
Yep. You see your portrait. You would just drag it down into the.
Oh, okay. I have so many maps open right now. Oh no, I moved someone on another map. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I moved the bartender.
Yeah. So if you still have the
Standby.
tavern open, you can right click and minimize it, so that way it's just a little icon.
Forgot about that.
There we go.
Success.
There you go. So you're sitting on the end of this little divan that this guy is kind of lounging on, and as you may or may not recall, there is a thick blue haze in this room, very sweet smelling, not unlike like an incense smell, like a sandalwood or something like that. So it's not bad.
I think we had like mouth coverings and nose coverings.
Right. So Varg, as you come walking in, you see your companions at the far end of the room, and they've got stuff wrapped around their face or covering their mouth, and they're speaking to this gentleman who is, and I'll pull up his picture again and share it, who is discussing with them in hushed tones.
The smell you described, do you think it's something that Varg would have encountered on his travels?
Possible. It's possible that you would know that people who indulge in this, whatever activity it is, usually become very addle-brained, or it's like drinking too much, but it hits way faster than drink.
Okay. I guess so at the entrance, after taking like a deep inhale, as you often do when you enter a room, he realizes oh, Varg does not like this. And with the fox fur trim around his cloak, he can cover his face with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the first time, you see him kind of like dip his hand into his front pocket, pull out a tiny little hedgehog. It has like multicolored, like the white and brown little quills, and like a soft little white belly and a tiny pink belly button. He puts his little baby hedgehog, they're an adult hedgehog, kind of smushed into their hoods so they can protect them from inhaling these fumes.
Okay. All right. Alrighty. And then the two of you who are already in here, you see Varg come in.
Kett will motion Varg over.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess actually I take that back. Cornelia is not going to wave at you because Cornelia is deeply engrossed in this dude and is a little drunk and is very interested. So where we left off with this guy, he was telling me that Sedonis is not actually Stygian.
Right. He said, yeah, he said the name Sedonis was known to him, and that this person who had come to him had claimed that he was Stygian, but he was like this. He was no Stygian.
Do you think that Sedonis is even his real name? Like everything I have heard about him has been like he's super shady and is maybe not I don't know, honest about anything.
He looks at you for a moment. He says, "Well, I suppose so. It would not be unusual for especially people who come here." And he kind of looks at all the dregs that are kind of laying around, and then he looks back at you and he says, "Or those who utilize my service to use an alias."
Do you have any idea where he might have actually like hailed from?
If I had to venture a guess, just by the look of him, and he spoke Stygian, although he did not. Some people do not believe that I, or do not know that I speak Stygian as well. My mother was Stygian, so he spoke seemingly flawless Stygian as if he were a native, but being part Stygian myself and hearing my mother my whole life speaking the language, he had a strange lilt to his voice that made me think that he was a foreigner. If I had to venture a guess, I would venture to say that he was probably Turanian or Hyrcanian at least.
Turanian is where my mom is from. Where my mom was from.
He looks at you and he says, "I see. Yes."
Yeah. Interesting. So if he was Turanian, maybe he was familiar with my parents or my mother's family at the very least.
Very likely. I don't know. So he actually was holding the urn and just kind of holds it out for you. And he says, "Your father paid for me to hold this until he returned. And as it seems that he is not returning, I am giving it to you and fulfilling my obligation. Do you consider my obligation paid?"
I don't know. I think she's frozen.
Oh no.
That's such a good face to be frozen in, though.
Yeah, I mean it's very. There's a lot of tension right now. Oh, there it is.
Oh no.
The tension was palpable.
It was.
Yep. So I'm gonna. What did you hear of that?
Sorry.
It's okay.
So sorry.
No, you're fine.
I heard that he might have been Turanian, and I just said that he might have known my mother's family, which would be really interesting. And then my internet just farted out.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just right now. I'm just rearranging because whenever
Yeah, it shuffles everying.
shuffles
Sorry,
it.
everybody.
No, you're fine. So just a little bit of technical issue, but that's fine. Right. I'm trying to.
We were just commenting how the freeze added a lot of tension to that scene
Oh,
because
did it ever.
we were just kind of waiting for your answer, and we were like, "Wait, what's happening?"
I didn't know if you could hear me or not because I noticed I froze. And sometimes when you freeze on Zoom, you can still hear the audio. I was like, I froze.
We did not hear.
Okay.
Not a little bit.
It was just this
I-
tense look on your face.
Mm-hmm.
I had Josh put the fan on the router, so hopefully that'll calm things down.
All right. So I'll try and do some role play here while I'm trying to fix the screen here.
I mean, if you want. So, I mean, Varg is kind of able to look around the room and see all the, for lack of a better word, degenerates that are laying about. And having, if this is not the first time that he's been in, he knows how to tiptoe around them, how not to disturb them, even though if you do accidentally, say, kick one or trip over one of the individuals, they don't really seem to react.
Not so much.
Violent.
Oh, I take up Varg takes up space. Varg often steps on things. He thinks it's cushion, it's person. So with a little bit of maneuvering, he's able to make his way over and probably catches like the tail end of all that. Poor Varg though, because beyond just being happy to accompany everybody on this mission, for his own purposes, really, he hasn't really comprehended what the ultimate, like, they were hired to do a thing but they're doing another thing, and it's the other thing that he hasn't quite grasped. So when homie over there is kind of explaining everything, Varg is like wrapped, just one hand in his hood to hold on to Carrot while he's listening attentively.
I love him. Well, that's a lot of good information. Ken, I gotta tell you, all that beer and the smell in here has made me a little burpy.
I'll carry the urn. It's probably safer going up the stairs with me.
Hello, friends. Varg
Hey.
welcomes you.
Hey, Varg. We just
Cornelia.
learned the coolest stuff. It was like, oh man, it's so cool. It's so cool. And thank you, Arraq. You're the best, and you're so helpful. If there's anything else that you might be able to tell me, I'd appreciate it. Varg, why do you have your hand in your...
Varg wants to protect Carrots. Varg finds this place awfully smelly, and if you consume too many of these fumes, you will be laying on the ground like them. You're familiar with this place, Kett. We should. Are
Yes.
you done? We could leave. I would love. Varg would love air. Varg would love beer, and Varg might have some business that I would love to attend to.
Okay, so I've got
If the gentleman has nothing left to say, then perhaps we should get Cornelia upstairs.
all right. He had handed over the urn. He asked if his bond has been relieved. To which Cornelia, if you indicate that he is relieved of his duty, then he has nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anything else of my dad's or know anything else, I would really appreciate knowing it. Or if you remember any of the names of the people that you worked with that maybe also worked with my dad.
I only spoke with your father.
Okay.
In my line of work, it's usually a customer and myself. I don't usually have groups of people. It kind of indicates the three of you, groups of people discussing. But he kind of looks around at some of the reprobates that are around him, and he just kind of looks back at you and he goes, I feel quite safe, so I didn't think that you were here to threaten me.
No, not very threatening. And like Varg's super cool. Varg wouldn't hurt anybody, and neither would
Despite
Kett.
the stains.
Oh yeah, did you spill some wine on you, Varg?
Yes, Varg made a huge mess.
Oh.
Varg would love to actually bring you to a room and I could rinse clothing in some cold water. Varg knows cold water is best to clean. Yep.
Stains?
Yes, you dab at the stain.
Mm-hmm. Well, Arraq, thank you again, and I really appreciate you keeping this safe for so long.
All right,
You didn't have to.
He holds his hand out like he's like gonna give himself a face slap, but then he just kind of touches his palm to his forehead and then gestures towards you and says, "Good fortune to you. I hope you find what you are looking for."
Thank you. So
Cornelia is going to stand up and then kind of wobble a little bit, burp, and then kind of make her way kind of unsteadily towards the stairs.
Okay. All right. And as you get off of his divan, he kind of stretches out a little bit, reaches over, grabs the stalk of his hookah, and starts taking another hit.
That was a great sound effect.
All right. So everybody going upstairs at this point?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So we'll go ahead and close that one out and open back up the tavern. Look. All right. So go ahead and place your people back on there. Now Adama's like sitting in the corner munching on some stuff. So let me get the PC.
Listen, waste not, want not.
Right. Here we go.
Ooh.
So she's little, so I'll make her small. There we go. All right, so the girl is sitting there with Adama, and she's picking at some of the food too. Kind of, she'll smell it and then just kind of look at it for a minute and look at Adama, and then like it's like the same thing you're eating currently, and she smells it again and just drops it on her plate and just kind of looks for something else. So,
All right. So she's gathered like the dagger, the gold coins, the cloak or whatever, and probably at least put the dagger and the coins away, except for whatever she needs to like pay for the food. She's
Okay.
assuming that it needs to be paid for.
okay. So what we can do, so you're keeping the dagger for yourself. So what we can do is I can actually add, I'm opening up your character sheet, going to inventory, or actually I can go to combat, and I am going to add a dagger to your sheet. So that's, for those watching, that's what I'm doing. I opened up Adama's sheet, and now I'm going through items, going to daggers and knives, and dragging a dagger. We'll say it's a dirk, not a dagger.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right.
So I will drag that onto your sheet and there we go. There you go.
Fancy.
So now you have a dirk.
Very cool.
Okay. So the others, as you come walking in, you see Adama at the far end. There's and the band is actually picked up again. So as you're coming up the stairs, you can hear the music. And it's as before. It's a very bawdy tale, and it's got it's like limericks and things like that. So all the people in the tavern are laughing and singing along and things like that as you come walking up. Varg, the one now, the bartender is at the bar and is now speaking to the indicated manlet in hushed tones, and they are looking over in your direction. So what are the three of you who come from downstairs? What are you going to do?
Varg has business. Does Kett require any assistance? You have your hands full with that thing, and then Cornelia looks like she may fall over. And also, Kett, Cornelia, Varg would like to inform you that we have a new companion. Her name is Padre, and Varg will point over into corner where you see Adama. Just beyond Adama, Varg can kind of, if you shift yourself, you can see a tiny girl, tiny human, has witnessed murder. Varg will tell you that. So yeah, she's, Varg would like to say she is great, and Varg would like to go. Goodbye.
What now?
Varg has to go over there. Good luck. Take care.
Sure.
Adama's like over there like, hey guys.
Kett shifts the urn over to his right arm and then kind of like slightly puts his hand under Cornelia's right arm and kind of leads her toward the corner where Adama is.
Okay. Cornelia's gonna kind of turn for a second, and in this big room of potential human traffickers and manlets and stuff, Cornelia's gonna go, "Hey, should we wrap that? We need to do the urn? What we did for me. We need to give a passport. You know?"
I'll take care of
Like,
it. Let's get you
wrap it
seated
up.
first. Yep.
Wrap
we'll,
it up. Oof. Oof.
Come. Yeah. Let's
You
get
know,
you. Let's get you
Like how we
sitting.
did with me?
Yep. I
That's
know.
what-
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean. Let's get you sitting, and then we'll disguise the urn.
Sitting sounds so good.
Yeah. Let's do that.
The downstairs was super smelly. I didn't want to say anything because he was so nice and like so helpful.
Mhm.
It was super stinky down there.
Yes.
Also, Kett,
Yes.
I don't want to drink any more of the beer.
Oh, water is going to be your friend. Let's go sit down though, and then we will get you some water and
Water
perhaps
sounds so good.
some bread to soak up
Just
the
remember,
drink.
I wanted the water first, and you
No,
told me
we'll we will go get more water. I will get more water for you when you're sitting over here with Adama. Let's walk and talk. Can we walk and talk at the same time? Can we do?
West Wing the shit out of this? Let's do it.
All right then.
So
And they make their way, bumping through the crowd.
Sure.
Cornelia's not doing so hot. She's like burping, like every.
Yeah.
Every
Let's
couple of
let's take this to the next level. So
Make me roll.
yeah, I'm gonna make you roll a resistance check. Your target number is 1.
Yay!
And so you can right now
Okay.
still no momentum in the pool. So you can give me a point of doom if you want, or you can give me doom for extra dice. But for right now, your target number is you need to get 1 success on a resistance check.
A resistance check. Oh God, where's resistance? Okay,
It's under your
I
brawn.
hit that.
Double click it. Yep.
Double click.
1
I
success.
succeeded
So
by the skin of her teeth.
Bless her heart.
How? Like,
Hiccups. It's sad. She doesn't. I feel like her success here is that she doesn't just puke. That's her success.
okay. So yeah, it's just you barely got it. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, this is the greenish, or like the most green you've ever seen Cornelia's complexion, which is normally like a very lovely, like brown, like warm brown tone. Like, should not look good.
There's definitely an herb that smells distinctly of meat pie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
all right. So but you make your way all the way across the room without without letting anything go. So you are now around the table.
Does a little like very ladylike ta-da.
All right. So
Right, have a seat. There's food. What else? How did it go? We have someone new at our table. They're joining us. Right, so enjoy the food.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah, oof, I don't want any more food, but thank you. Oh, Adama, I'm so sorry. I ate your meat pie. I feel really bad about that. I really regret eating it, actually.
Don't feel bad. We sort of killed 3 people. It's all right.
Wait, what?
sort of.
Wait, we were gone like 15 minutes.
It happens, Cornelia. Really, it does. Right, Kett? It happens, right?
Kett nods as he's going under the table toward Adama, and Adama can feel this like urn slide between her calves and just sit there, just like on the floor. And he comes back out from under the table. Just don't let that go anywhere. That's hers. from her dad, apparently. I need to get her
That-
something. I need to get some water from the bar for her.
Cornelia like leans over to Adama and is like, "We gotta give it a passport, like with me." Yeah.
You're... Kett, what did you do to her? What is wrong with
No,
her?
I didn't. Now
There's so much
hold-
beer.
let
in
me
my
get the
belly.
water. I'll explain when I come back.
Does the beer always feel like this? Because why?
Oh, I promise it will not last forever. You'll be all right.
Ooh,
Eventually. Drink the water. It'll help.
Yes. So Cornelia's gonna drink the water, and then turn to the girl
Mm-hmm.
and be like, "Hi, I'm Cornelia."
All right. She nods and she says, "I am Padre."
Hi, Padre. It's really nice to meet you. How did you? They said you saw a murder. I'm really sorry. That sounds really sad. Was it like a long time ago, or is it?
Cornelia isn't quite catching what's happening here.
Cat returns with another, like 2 pitchers of water and sets them on the table. And as Cornelia finishes a water, he'll reach over and pour another one.
So,
All right. So
Padre.
so Padre's looking at you and she mutters. She just kind of mutters something under her breath.
oh, it's language. It's language time.
Mm.
Oh, I don't speak
Language
that one.
time. Hold
Now,
on.
now here's the
Hold on.
thing.
I can't. I got so many windows up. I'm sorry. I know I can minimize them.
All right. So
I can't express how hard Mac controls are sometimes for being functional things.
It's
Oh
true.
god, I made it disappear entirely. What have I done? Oh no. Oh, I got it. I got it back.
All right, so here's the thing. She mutters something, and the problem is, or the strange thing is, that is not a spoken language. That is a dead language that has only been read.
So you see Cornelia's eyes go super big, and she's like burps a little. I'm not well. I feel really bad. But I know what you said.
All right, she smiles, and she says, "You do?" And she's and like genuine like smile, and
That you said you said it. You said it. You said it. Like how you pronounced it. That's really cool. That's and in a very haltingly, because it's not a spoken language, but like how I guess Cornelia thinks it might sound, she's going to respond back in the same language
okay.
and say, how do you know this?
All right, she says, "I just do,
You just
like you do, although you say it funny."
I say it funny. Yeah, because technically, so I learned it. I learned it over like a bunch of time, but it's not like a language. But you said it like a language. You just know it. Who taught you?
I don't know.
You don't know. You were Maybelline born with it.
Maybelline.
You know.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Sorry,
No?
I can't help myself.
This is my fault. I apologize. I made her try beer, the dark ale,
No,
and
Kett.
a meat pie.
Kett. The water is helping. Feeling better. I'm gonna drink more water. But your name is Padre?
Yes.
Padre, I'm Cornelia, and this is Kett, and this is Varg, and this is Adama, which I guess you already met.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how you went upstairs, spilled some bread, and made a friend, Adama.
Well, Varg. So, I mean, I was a bit worried that something would happen to Varg, and they went upstairs, and so I followed them because, you know, the two that Varg was with, they were not exactly what you would call the most upstanding of citizens, right? So I
They
followed
were the
them.
ones that were in this corner before, right? The ones that you
Right.
followed, the ones you followed upstairs.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. And they went upstairs, and apparently there was some sort of selling of persons involved.
Oh,
Right.
that's so messed up.
Right. And I don't think Varg liked it
So
very
you-
much. So Varg stabbed some people, and then I helped Varg finish it because, you know,
Oh.
we don't really, you know.
Oh, so the
Understood.
But, I mean, I was not going to let Varg get hurt, and
That explains the stains on Varg's hauberk.
not
right,
wine.
right. But the person that they were trying to sell, it turns out that this was perhaps how do I put this? They were trying to sell someone that they did not intend to sell, who would probably then steal from us and then
A
run back.
swindle.
Right,
Yes.
A swindle.
right.
Common.
That's so rude.
Very.
Common. It's common here.
Yeah, it's no common but rude. You can
So-
be common and also rude at the same time.
I feel
My grandma tells
reasonably
me that all the
justified
time.
in stabbing her in the back.
So
Oh.
are they still up there?
What is left of them, yes. But we are perhaps paying with some coin to fix this.
Oh,
Right.
well,
I think
that's
that's the plan.
nice.
And she kind of looks over. She looks over at Varg like, I mean, some sort of something's happening.
If you can,
Transaction of some sort.
Adama, if you can maybe help Cornelia continue to sober up,
Right?
I'll go up and take care of the mess.
All right. Well, yeah. All right.
It's fine. I have this won't be the first time.
Oh my god. Kett is the body disposal person from Pulp Fiction.
That's right. The cleaner, yes.
Also, that's the urn. If you could please keep that out of sight, covered, perhaps.
Yeah.
The cloak that I have now stolen from the people who I'm going to just drape that over top of it.
Okay.
That works, so it's not visible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Padre.
Yes. And she kind of holds up what appears to be some sort of like bread pudding. And she kind of picks it up with her fingers and she sniffs it and she kind of tastes it and she kind of goes, and then starts eating it. She goes, "What is this?"
I think it's pudding. It smells like pudding.
All right. She grabs another hunk of it. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
It's good. Sweet.
Pudding is good. So, Padre, not to be like weird about this, but I need to know literally everything about you. And Cornelia is gonna like pull out her notebook and be like, "Let's go. Where are you from?"
All right. She shakes her head. She says, "I don't know. All I know is my lady. I awoke when the man woke me on the road, and took me to my lady, and
Doesn't.
she cared for me, although we couldn't understand each other well. But she taught me this, and she's speaking in Gothic, and she's like, she taught me this language, and which is a good language, I guess. But
It's all right. I mean, there are better ones.
and her
There's a lot of in it, and sometimes it's hard, for people. It's not bad though. Your language is better,
oh, thank you.
although interesting. Because so here's the thing about that language, is that it's technically a dead language, which means that no one speaks it anymore. We only have it as a written language, so we don't know how things are pronounced, which is why I probably sound pretty weird when I say things. But you speak it naturally, which is just crazy.
Kett pops over to the bar very
Okay.
quickly
Mhm.
and leans into the barkeep.
She looks at you and goes, "Oh, you've returned." Grin.
Yes.
She's thirsty.
I could also use your sharpest cleaver and largest straight blade.
All right. She squints at you for a moment, and then she looks over at Varg, and she looks over at her brother, and then she looks back at you, and she says, "Tama's already handled the cleanup expense, so don't bother yourself.
Very good.
But I will suggest that you probably not stay here tonight, just to be on the safe side."
No.
Oh, but Kett, Varg had.
Uh,
Can Varg have an hour?
Varg, you don't have to stay here the night to conduct your business.
Cornelia's gonna be here for a while, because Cornelia's got some questions
We have time.
answered.
Okay. Varg is content. Cornelia seems very out of sorts, but
Cornelia will be fine. You continue, and then Kett kind of looks across Varg toward, I guess, Tom
Tama.
is.
Mhm.
Tama.
Tama.
Continue your encounter.
All right. Tama
And,
Tama looks at Varg and says, "Well, let's go upstairs." And then Tama looks at Kett and says, "It won't take him long."
don't take Varg to the room where everybody died.
Kett,
Varg doesn't want to go there though.
Kett laughs out loud. And he gets another mug of the dark from
Okay.
our barkeep friend.
Yep.
Throws some coin on the counter and heads back to the table.
All right. So the Varg, you go upstairs with Tama. The Padre, I mean, just talking with her, I mean, it's very apparent that she just really doesn't know what has happened to her. So
Can I
you
ask one more specific
sure,
question?
sure.
What does Volca mean?
All right. She looks at you and she says, "Volca, our god."
God, do I know that?
That is a good question. That would most likely be lore, which is right
I
in
got
your
it.
wheelhouse. But I'm going to say
Mad-
you're going to need 3 successes in lore to know what that references.
Let us pray.
Now you can give me a point of doom if you want extra dice on this.
You got so much doom.
Yeah,
You're
cough,
doom
there's a lot of
patrol
doom,
right
cough.
now.
Doom schmoom.
I will say that in Cornelia's recovering drunk state, that wait, did we get bits?
Oh, did somebody?
We did.
Did Ergonomic Cat give us bits?
There you go.
Oh,
it's for
that's
Doom.
Eric.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank
The
you.
tiniest little roller coaster in the world. It's like
So that's giving me doom, but that'll give you an extra dice. That'll give you an extra dice.
that will give me an extra. No, it doesn't wait. That gives me an extra dice, or gives you an extra
No.
dice?
It's giving me a point of doom. What Ergonomic Cat is doing is giving me a point of doom, so you can have an extra dice.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I add an additional die at the bottom, right?
Correct. Yep, the yellow dots.
A little dots.
And then you want to change your DC to DC 3.
DC 3. Oh god, it's so scary.
Hey, is Morgan a little drunk too? So good.
3 successes. But
Oh my god!
one.
I'm the best little nerd in the world.
All right. So what that means is if you're looking at the results, so you got a 1, which counts as 2 successes. Now your lore is amazing. It's an 18, so you need 18 or less to get a success. So your 16 also counted. That's your 3, but your 20 is what's called a complication. So this is a lore check. So we'll say that you're not exactly certain, like in what context it is, but you do know that Valka was a god worshipped by the ancient Atlanteans.
Ancient Atlanteans.
Which, of course, are no longer around.
Cornelia has the biggest, like, nerd boner right now. Okay. So, ancient Atlanteans worshipped.
But you don't know if it's... there are tales that Valka was a benevolent god, but then there's also tales that was a very vengeful god, so it's hard to really lock it down.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay, that's right. Volca is a god of Atlanteans. You don't remember where you came from. Do you remember where the lady picked you up?
Oh, no. My lady's husband found me on the road and I was taken to my lady on the road.
Gotcha.
I was given to my lady. My lady's husband found me.
And am I to understand that your lady and your lady's husband are upstairs having just been murdered by Varg and Adama?
No.
That's not really right. No.
No, my lady.
Okay.
It was my lady and her lover's lover that were murdered upstairs.
Morgan loves it.
Okay.
But my lady's husband was Sidonus and spits.
This guy turns up freaking everywhere. He's downstairs and he's at my house and he's so many places. Sidonus.
He's got a really good name to say in that. Like, Sidonus!
Sidonus. Oh my gosh.
Could you please?
She says, "You're saying it wrong. It's Sidonus." And then she spits again. That is how my lady pronounced it.
That's important. The spitting part. Okay.
So, rewind, which is not a concept that we know of at this time, but you, Adama, and Varg's not here. Varg's,
Indisposed.
Adama, you murdered Sidonus.
oh, actually, I shouldn't spit. It doesn't make me feel good.
Sidonus's his wife.
Oh, I really hope that doesn't make him not answer my questions.
I really don't think we need to bring it up to you. I mean,
Uh,
unimportant details.
I guess that's true. If he doesn't ask.
Probably good for us to know that she's dead, though.
Well, it doesn't really sound like they were on the best of terms.
No judgment. No one knows what's in other people's marriages. This is what my mom used to say.
Well, if you train your child to spit every time to say your husband's name, perhaps they were not on the best of terms, right?
That's fair point.
Yeah.
That's fair point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait, okay, so do you know where we could find Sidonus? And yeah, can you do it for me? Because
Mhm.
like the spitting part, because every time I go to spit, it makes me feel a little barfy.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you know where we can find him?
My lady said that she suspected he was dead, but I don't know. That's what my lady said.
Suspected he was dead. Okay. Man, this guy's hard to find.
Well, also, didn't our friend downstairs say that he had seen Sidonus within the last few days?
Maybe, but like stuff happens. These people were alive 20 minutes ago, and Varg happened to them. So, who knows? Sidonus. Spidonus.
Simply
Yeah.
saying our luck is probably not that he is dead.
Okay.
And if he is dead, then we will be missing some information. So let's hope he is alive and we can speak to him.
I agree. Oh, Kett, I've learned so much in such a short amount of time. This was a really good decision to come here. Okay. Well, Padre, thank you. And
You're welcome.
yeah, I hope you can, if there's anything that you remember or like were given, or hey, now that I'm looking at her, do I recognize her weird birthmark or her spooky eyes or
Well, she certainly she has gray eyes, so that's without a doubt. Yeah, and she does have. Let me call up the picture of her again, so we can all see the picture of Padre. All right. Oops. Here we go. Padre,
Right.
the broken girl. So yeah, she's not chewing on a stalk of wheat at this point. She's actually eating like a piece of linguine.
Ooh, following pudding with linguine.
Yeah,
Girl,
and she doesn't really
only
know.
the kids can do it.
Right, and she's just kind of giving you this look, and yeah, you can see the birthmark on her forehead. It is some sort of a star shape, and yeah, it actually just the shape of it and something about it reminds you of your necklace.
okay.
Maybe it's just like because it's actually like it almost looks like it looks like a birthmark, but there's a little bit of pattern to it, so almost like it's a tattoo, but it's certainly not. It's just some sort of weird.
Gotcha. So Cornelia is gonna pull out her necklace
Okay.
and
Let's
show
remind
it to
everyone.
Padre and say, does this seem familiar, look interesting, spark anything?
All right. She looks at it and she says, her eyes get wide and she kind of like leans forward towards it and she looks at you and she says, it is of Xirus.
It's of Xirus.
And then she points at it and she says, it is of Xirus.
What's Xirus?
Xirus, he was the master. He was the master of all of us.
Master of all.
And then she kind of sits there for a moment and then she like starts to shake as if something is very, very wrong.
Are you okay? I'm sorry.
Hey,
Are you-
what's happening here? What's wrong with her?
And then she shakes her head like it's actually like physically hurting her to remember this stuff.
Oh, it's okay. Don't hurt yourself. Here, get you. You should drink some water.
All right. She shakily takes water and starts drinking it.
Perhaps she's had enough excitement for this evening.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Xirus.
So Cornelia's going to write all of that down into her notebook.
Okay.
Is there anything in her dad's notebooks or the studies that she's done that like pop out about Xirus?
Yeah, you can certainly make a lore check on that. We're going to do DC of 3 on that one as well.
Oof. 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 I'm scared.
Adama, are we taking the child with us?
Okay.
Well,
No.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Where are we taking her somewhere in particular?
Well, with us,
Oh, I only rolled 2 dice.
we didn't
Yeah,
deliver the
that was
amount
right.
Oh
of
no,
time.
that's right.
That was
That's
right.
right. That's right. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. That's fine. We'll. The unexpected things happen. We'll figure that out, I suppose.
Right. I mean, the alternative is to leave her here, and I don't think that's a very good idea.
No, we need to take her. She can't come with us.
No. Apparently, we have a need to bring her with us now. So
Yeah, important. Super important.
I hear you. You're not really whispering. You know that, right?
I don't really.
No, that's
It's like full volume.
yeah. You whispering is a lost art at the moment.
Oh. I'm starting to feel better though.
Keep drinking the water.
Okay.
Is this probably a good time for Varg to come down the
Yeah,
stairs?
absolutely. So, yes.
Okay.
It's easily been 7 to 10 minutes. Conservatively.
Conservatively, of course. I think Varg is just like whatever, like he doesn't have his like winter coat on right now. It is genuinely soaked in blood. So it's just like draped around his arm, and in his hand he's got Carrot as he like, proudly walks down the stairs. And then just kind of like
Strat.
stalks over to the table. Yeah.
Full on strat.
Well, Varg is ready. How about everybody else?
Varg.
We are going, yes?
Yes,
Here,
it's
I
best.
explained everything. It's fine. Really.
Adama, Varg knew you could.
It's best that we go. I'll retrieve the horses. I'll meet you outside.
Mm,
Okay.
we have a child, right? You're going.
Whose
to have
horse?
with-
Varg cannot share horse very well. Varg takes up space.
Oh, she can ride with me.
As they start the discussion on whose horse the child is going to ride with, Kett like clearly gets up and walks away.
Okay. All right. So, how long do you guys discuss before you follow Varg out?
Or Kett
Oh.
out.
Or,
Probably
I'm
not
sorry, Kett. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Too
Not
long. A minute or two. Whatever
Okay,
it takes
so a
to
few
stuff
minutes.
some food in our pockets.
All right.
as
So
well.
yeah, you're stocking up. Okay. All right. So Kett, you go out and you head towards the corral where or the stable where the horses are, and then shortly thereafter, everyone else starts filing out. So as you're filing out now, the way this will work is, Kett, you have gone through and you're headed towards the stables, and then a few minutes later, the others come out. Let's see here. Yeah. So we'll say that you are actually off the map to the right at this point, and yeah, we'll just set you there for now.
All right.
All right. Oops, I need to empty out my thing here real quick. 1 second. Okay. All right. So,
Did the grid just appear?
was it not on there before?
No.
Mine was there.
Oh.
No. This is just me making a comment on the fact that we're very careful about where we are right now, Eric.
Yeah. Oh no, it'll all be very apparent here in just 1 second.
Oh gosh.
Yes. So as you're walking out, and I need to make sure I have Padre on here as well. So as you're walking out, Kett has cleared the courtyard, and in just the few minutes since Kett has cleared the yard,
What?
and as you come walking out, there's a group of guards, or they're all in like similar attire, standing there, and they just they're forming up as you come walking out. And so then what you see is one of them is a sergeant, and he's barking, and as you're walking out, the one over here just is running to like cover this exit, and they look at you as you come out. The one at the very back has plate armor with some sort of robe over the top of it, so it's a very loose robe over the top of it. Cornelia, you immediately recognize his robe and his medallion of service, as he is one of Karaja's magistrates.
Oh.
And so as you come walking out, the magistrate points in your group's direction and says, "That's her." And then the sergeant kind of looks forward and points towards your group and says, "Halt." And says, "Are you certain, sir?" And the magistrate says, "Yes. The girl is wanted for the murder of a noble woman."
Pointing at Cornelia?
Or just point, no, as in your general direction. Just kind of points in your general direction.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say, Kett, you can hear all of this happening as you're headed towards the stable. And then the magistrate. All right. So yeah, what's your initial reaction as this happens?
Varg would like to turn to Padre. Padre, tiny human, have you murdered? Varg would like to know: have you done any bloodletting to other people, similar as what Varg had done in your presence?
All right. She looks at you for a moment, like she's processing what you're saying, and then she shakes her head. "No, I have not killed anyone."
Haha, you understand. Varg likes you. No murder. Yeah, don't murder. Just,
all right, and then
watch Varg murder.
So yeah, so the guards are standing there. What's Adama? What are you doing?
Adama has a very confused look on her face, and so she kind of takes a little step forward, as long as it looks like no one's going to immediately stab her if she does that.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
First she takes the urn, and hands it to Cornelia.
Okay.
Cornelia is going to immediately kind of grab it and hold it like it is her most precious thing in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is you kept it covered, or you just kind of uncovered it and handed it?
Covered.
It was covered in the cloak.
Okay.
The found cloak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother in the military says that you don't steal things, you strategically acquire them.
Yes.
And I believe that this is a strategically acquired item.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right.
And Adama's going to kind of take a step forward and be like, I'm sorry, has there been some sort of difficulty that we should know about? Is there some way that we can help you?
All right. So go ahead and move yourself a step forward there. And so then the sergeant is standing there, and he kind of turns his head towards the magistrate, and then the magistrate just kind of overlooks and says, "Cornelia, give yourself up. We know what you did." And then the sergeant points and says, "Killing your own grandmother." And then the magistrate points at Cornelia again and says, "Seize her, kill the rest."
Haha, no.
All right, well, let's make this simple.
Varg will not let this happen.
Wait,
All right. So the way initiative
You
works.
don't get to process.
No processing time. We got to kill.
So the way initiative works is the PCs always go first unless I spend doom for each NPC that goes ahead of you. So I will spend.
No.
I'm going to spend three
Cornelia.
doom to ensure that 3 of the guards step forward and are going to act. So that will be mercenary 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if I can find them. 1. Okay, so mercenary 1. Oops. There we go. All right, so going first. All right, so as the magistrate says that, kill them all. Get the girl, kill them all. Mercenary steps forward and engages Varg and is going to target Varg and then is going to roll their combat. So I'm doing, if you're watching the screen here, I'm doing, let's see here. Melee is agility, so I'm doing agility, which is a 9, and they have a combat of 1, so I need, my target number is 10, and it's considered a focus of 1. So I've got 2 dice, and I'm trying to hit Varg. And I needed a 9, and so I got 1 success. So he comes at you with his spear, and he's going to stick at Varg. Now, Varg, you can parry. If your weapon has parry, you get a free parry for the first attack. If your weapon does not have the ability, if you're looking on your character sheet, you go to combat.
Oh, right, combat. I always forget to go there.
Yeah, and then you would click like your battle axe, whatever you're fighting with. You would click the shield next to that, and you can look and see what your qualities are. You have intense and vicious, so you do not have parry, so you don't get it for free. So what you can do is you can give me a doom, and then you are allowed to parry.
we
You
just
know I
got
won't.
mad bits. We just got mad bits.
Wow.
Nathan! Oh my gosh, so many people. And Cole.
Yep.
Oh,
So how many?
Okay.
How many we got going? How many? Is it
It,
four?
it looks like that's 4 momentum total if they're coming to us.
All right, so we'll say that's 4 momentum then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they didn't specify if they were going to us or to the DM.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying,
Well, if
they're listening, they can tell us what they want to do with the
that's
bits.
true. That's true. So if we'll keep it as momentum until they tell us otherwise. Okay. So for one doom, you will be able to parry, and then you would get 2 dice on your parry roll, and then you can spend momentum to add dice to your parry roll. So we'll kind of do that slow. So.
well, is parrying the only way to defend?
In
this instance?
in a melee attack, yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's a good question, actually. I think you could try and dodge it with agility, but with what is it? Parrying and acrobatics. I think you could. You could probably, if you're just trying to avoid it, you could try acrobatics. But parry is if you're just blocking.
I can't move out of the way. Like, I've got Cornelia behind me, so like that's not something Varg would do. Like, the mission is to protect Cornelia, so this is the moment. This is when he has to perform.
Yep.
Would you say it's the heat of the moment?
Get out of here. I think Varg is just gonna take the hit then.
Okay. All right. So it is a spear. They are sticking you with the spear. It's a piercing 1. So here's how it'll happen. So they stuck you with the spear, and here's the damage. Bam. So it does a total of 5.
Okay.
Now, don't deduct anything just yet. And with 3 effects. So now I need to roll and see where it hits you. So I'm
Oh,
going to
word. 3 effects.
So I'm opening up hit locations, and I am rolling. Oops, I'm rolling the first one. So left arm. So how much armor do you have on your left arm?
2.
2. Okay, with a spear, the spear's special effects is piercing 1. So every one of those little phoenixes that I roll on my my damage,
That's an effect.
it's an effect, and it pierces that much armor. So it actually negated it pierced 3 points of armor. You only had 2 points of armor. So you effectively, for that particular attack, had 0 armor. It got in between your armor and stuck you in the arm. So you took 5 points of damage, and that is off of your vigor, right? So that would be 5 point. You would
Do I add it to wounds or do I click my little green
you
dots?
click your green dots. Okay.
4, 5. Okay.
There you go. Now, for every 5 points of vigor you take, you actually take a wound. Now, here's the problem. With a wound, every time you take a wound, it increases your difficulty number. So here's what you can do. Here's a couple things that you can do. You can sacrifice a piece of armor for a wound. So you could say stuck you in the right arm, and you can reduce your armor to your right arm. Or I'm sorry, left arm. You're stuck you in the left arm. You could reduce the armor in your left arm by 1 point to ignore the wound.
I would love to do that.
Okay. All right. So
I don't even know what like the proper visualization is. Like if Varg was kind of wearing like some under leather, like when this mercenary goes to stab him, it just like does it still hit me? Like it still wounds me?
it still
I took
does.
the 5.
It still does the 5 vigor, but it doesn't do a wound to you.
Okay, so I kind of imagine like it's sticking him in the shoulder, and then as they retract the spear, it yanks out that piece of leather armor.
There you go. Exactly. So then on your left arm, just click under armor, click that, and just reduce that to a 1. There you go.
Right.
All right. So that was the first one. Okay. So that was 1. So
Varg is only so strong, please.
So then we've got Mercenary 2 is going to step forward and is going to do the same thing at Adama. So Adama,
Right.
so I need a 9 to hit Adama. That is 1 success. So what do you have in hand?
Lots of armor.
You have lots of armor. And what weapon do you have?
Sword. So sword has parry for free.
That's correct. So you can roll your parry without giving me a doom on the first
Okay.
one. What it does is it reduces the cost of parry every time you use it.
Yeah.
So there you go. So the first one's free. So what you would do is right now you all you need is 1 success.
Yeah.
And so you would roll your parry. Now you have 4 momentum in the pool. So you can spend any momentum up to 3 points of momentum if you want to, but you don't have to.
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna spend it on the parry.
Okay. All right. So that is just a straight up parry roll. There you go. Got 1 success. Oh, you got 2 successes. You generated a point of momentum. So go ahead and double click your momentum there. And
Alright.
there you go. So it comes in with the spear. You saw that they had come in and stuck Varg in the shoulder. Looked like they were trying to do the same thing to you. And you parried it away. So
Okay.
then Mercenary 3 is... Let's see here. Mercenary 3 is also stepping forward. And seeing as though looks like Mercenary 1 has Varg under control, looks like they're going to double up on Adama there. So Mercenary 2 is doing the same thing. It's going to be 2 dice and sticking at... Yeah, so that is 3 successes.
Oh no.
So are you parrying this one also?
Yes.
Okay,
You will
so...
also parry this.
So now you will have to give me a point of doom. So now, because you're doing another parry in the same round. So
Yeah.
okay, so are you spending any momentum on this? Because the
Yeah.
number of success, because you need 3, And
Yeah.
anything over if anything generated over the number of parries you get actually gives me more doom. So
Okay, so maybe I'll use 2 momentum.
okay, so go ahead and drag and drop those, and then you are rolling 4 dice on your parry.
Yeah.
You need 3 successes.
All right. Let's try this.
And you generated. You didn't switch to 3 successes, so that's fine. So you got a total of 4 successes. You generated a point of momentum.
Aha. Excellent.
So there you go. So yeah, first one comes in with a spear, parried away. Second one comes in with a spear, parried away. And now it's your turn. So as player characters, you choose the order in which you all go. So it's really up to you. Now, as like a pro tip is, if you have an ability that would be, maybe not combat or something like that, that would be a low difficulty number, sometimes that's better to go first, so that way you're generating the momentum for your heavy hitters. But it's completely up to you all, however you want to do it.
Oops.
Oops.
Ignore that.
Yeah, that battle axe is bad. Yeah, you'll see. All right.
I would say that Cornelia isn't,
76.
Yeah.
holy crap.
Want to trade the
Cornelia
effect?
isn't gonna take a combat. She's gonna say, wait, no, you can't, that can't be right. I left her an hour ago, too. Maybe she was fine then. Wait, tell me what happened.
All right. And the magistrate's response is, "Get the thief and bring her to me."
No, I didn't. That's not what happened. That's not right. I left her. She was with my cousin. I can't remember his name.
Kai.
Kai. She was with Kai. No, she was fine when I left her. Wait, tell me what happened.
Okay. Then who amongst you is going to act?
Combat-wise?
Yes, combat-wise.
I think Varg would like to put a hand kind of like in front of Cornelia. Varg must insist. Stay back. It's fine. We will resolve this with... And for the first time, since you kind of met them, it's kind of tied by their lower back. Normally, their notched axe is hidden by their cloak, but because like they were holding their cloak in their arms, he tossed it to the ground because what's the point of it? He takes the time to gingerly, I think with an injured shoulder, it becomes more difficult to unravel something like this. And then, okay, how do I read the effects that I added to my combat? Because I worked a lot on my combat and I don't remember anything I did anymore.
So the effects you're talking about, like for your battle axe, you mean, or what do you mean?
Just in general, or maybe that was where I added them. I can't quite recall at the time. Like I'd spent a lot of points on, was it effects? I felt like I had like cool battle things to do.
I don't recall.
I don't know where to read about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
most of your stuff went into your melee, and yeah, the special, like any special effects are derived from your weapons at this point.
Okay.
You do have you have grappler.
Where do I see that?
If you go to main under your
Oh,
talents.
main again. Aha. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Thank you.
Yeah, and
None
so
of which is useful here.
well, no mercy is important because you can use momentum, or you can re-roll damage dice that don't succeed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so it's a re-roll number of damage dice equal to the total number of melee talents that you have, which I believe you just have the one. So I know you have 2, so you can re-roll up to 2 dice for damage dice.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yep. So under your combat tab, or your main tab also. So if you're going to do melee, then you just designate which enemy you're going to attack, and then you would either spend momentum to add dice if you want, and then you would double click your melee.
Okay. I mean, Varg would like to cut the head off the mercenary who stabbed Varg because it's not really appreciated.
Okay.
So sorry, I just click melee.
Yeah, you double click the if you're
Got my
looking.
difficulty at 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your difficulty should stay at 1.
Oh, sorry, it's 1. You're
Yes.
right. My something else is 2. That's right. I'm just gonna click and see what happens.
Yep. So you just double click the 16, and that's your attack.
Aha. Thank you.
There you go. You generated you got 3 successes because that's one of them is well under your focus. All right. So he has, this is mercenary number 1. Mercenary 1 has a small shield, so he actually does have parry. So he's going to roll 2 dice, and he's going to need 9s to parry. And he got 1 success. So you ended up generating 2 points of momentum. So go ahead and
Should I click those?
double click those. Yep. And you can roll your damage for your battle axe.
And that's literally the thing that says damage.
Correct.
The thing that I double clicked before.
Yep. Okay. So this is where this gets fun. All right.
Yep.
So you actually did not succeed on one of your dice, and you can re-roll that 1 dice. Now, I think you can double click that 1 dice, the blank one, to re-roll it, if I'm not mistaken. So give that a try and see what happens. Oh, it just.
No.
Nope, it didn't do that. Okay. So just go ahead and you can just pick up a D6 that's
D6,
laying there and just roll it. There you go. So that adds another point of damage. So you did a total of 8 points of damage. You did 3 effects, right?
Okay.
So with 3 effects with a battle axe is considered unbalanced. So that means that you actually your guard is down after you make this attack. So you're going to have to actually right yourself before your next attack.
Okay.
Or you can spend a momentum to right yourself because if you're off balance, then people with like knives and things get extra damage against you because you're completely off balance.
I would like to spend a point of momentum.
So
then.
there you go. So you go ahead and spend that momentum, and you've righted yourself. Okay, so you did 3 effects. Okay, you have vicious 1. So every effect that you roll counts as an additional point of damage. So you just did 10 points of damage instead of you did 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage, right?
This guy's dead.
11 points of damage. Now he has armor on, which is he's wearing he has 2 points of soak. So that's 9 points of damage. Okay. Now he is what's considered a minion. Yes. So you attack mercenary 1, you hit him, he has 2, you did 11 points of damage. If you spend a point of momentum, that would have been a total of 12. And what that means is you can kill 2 minions.
I mean, is it too late? I still have momentum.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my word, yes, please.
Because you're spending 1 for 1 damage. So you hit the first one, you blow through his armor, you kill him, and the weapon just keeps going into the next one and kills him.
Oh my god.
I mean, if I could take a moment. So after Varg had kind of put a hand behind him to ease Cornelia, like, Varg has got this. Varg will protect you. This is what Varg is here for. He takes the time. He's got his axe ready. He rolls his shoulder back a little bit. It hurts so much, but there's no way he can let on. Like the mercenary in front of him, I'm sure homie over there is acting tough as heck. I mean, he just stabbed his opponent. He's backed up by so many other mercenaries, but all it takes is Varg with his large frame to like swing his axe back once. He clasps the handle with both hands, and then with all of the force possible, he hacks. Maybe the first hit isn't what kills him because, he had armor and it took a bit of the soak. But while it was still stuck in the enemy, he just like applied a little bit more force, and then that was what it took. And just it happened that another poor old mercenary happened to be in the way, and he was caught perhaps halfway through the neck, and that was what caused him to bleed out.
All right. Absolutely. So boom. So there's that one's gone. That one's gone. You can actually.
There's a lot of wet noises happening right now in front of you.
Now here's the next thing. You can actually move. You don't have to stay in one spot. So you can actually move. And if you spend 2 momentum, you can attack again.
Don't tempt me.
There's so many dudes.
You don't.
Of course I will.
Okay. You can move wherever you want to within reason. So I would say within like 2 boxes away from where you are. Now Conan doesn't use actually grids like this. It's more of a close, long distance thing.
Okay.
But just
It's a Sesame Street near far thing.
Exactly. But if, for the purposes of this, it's, that way everybody's the right proportion on the screen and stuff. So, All right. So yeah, you cleave through those 2, step forward, and yeah, it's 2 momentum, and you're making another attack.
2 momentum?
Correct. There you go.
Okay. All right. Same idea.
Okay.
Where's my melee?
Okay. So that is so
I like this.
they get a parry. This is mercenary 2. Mercenary 1 is gone. By mercenary 1. And I think mercenary 3 was the other one that was killed. Yeah. There we go. All right, so mercenary 2 is going to attempt to parry. Now, you got 2 successes, but you rolled a 20, which is a complication.
Complication.
So here's what happens. I'm going to roll for the parry. He fails. So you ended up generating a point of momentum. So go ahead and add your momentum, and then roll damage on this poor sap. Now, which one are you hitting? Are you hitting the one mercenary 5, or are you hitting mercenary 2 that's in front of Adama?
Mercenary 2.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage on this
So many
poor.
things open. Sorry.
All right, and looks like we're kind of in the same boat again. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage. So you definitely kill the one. And then it's vicious, so if you inflict 1 wound, you're inflicting 2, which, yeah. So right now, if you spend,
Don't tempt me. Stop this.
if you spend 2 momentum here, I forgot. I meant it's vicious. I accounted for the vicious of your weapon, but I forgot. It also has the ability of, intense, which means if you inflict 1 wound, you inflict 2. So in reality, if you spend 2 momentum, you can kill 3 of them.
Like 3 on my turn right now.
Yeah. So you would have, yeah, right. Like this exact moment, you can,
Oh my word.
you spend 2 momentum and you kill 3 more of the guards.
This is why minions are amazing in Conan.
So there you go.
Talk about something that makes you feel amazing.
Yes.
All right.
Like you say, it just sounds like wet sounds. Varg has just stepped into the fray. Like, oh my word.
All right. So mercenary 2
man.
drops. Mercenary 5 drops, and then which other mercenary are you going to take out for the last one? Either 10, 7, 8, or 6.
8.
8. Okay. Right.
Like
And
seriously,
then-
the Foley guy for this scene is doing nothing but like cracking like whole things with celery and
Celery!
throwing watermelons on the ground and
Yes.
All right.
Like
so
Gallagher.
you're right. Exactly. So Varg, just so that way you could reach him, I'm just going to move you over 1 more.
Oh, thank
so
you.
so yeah. So Cornelia's like, what? And so you do the turn. You like calm her down, and then butcher 5 people.
At the very end of it all, he lets out this like powerful battle cry. And then has to take a second to catch his breath because wow.
All right, so here's the thing. You generated all of that, but you also had a complication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 doom to add to that complication, because that's when reinforcements arrive.
Oh my word. Where is our reinforcement?
It should be coming up pretty soon. So coming from this side, in like lockstep marching, is a group of another squad of mercenaries. Okay. All right. Okay, there's a lot of them. Did they go away? Oh, I said
Lot of them.
right. 1 second, real quick. Let me go back to where I was. Okay,
More squishies.
right. Who's going to go next?
Jeez, Varg, save some for me, all right?
You'll nervously point at the reinforcements.
All right, Adama, I guess I'll step up to these individuals here-ish. I'm trying to decide. I guess here.
Okay, so you step forward.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you, Eric, and this is something that I just wasn't quite clear on. So, Adama has two swords. Is there, and they're one-handed. Is there dual wielding? And what is the sort of difference between that and the sword and board option? Because she also has a shield.
The shield gives you the the shield actually gives you a shield bonus against ranged weapons, but it also gives you the parry option. Two regular swords also have the parry option, so you would actually get a free parry with each one. But the benefit of two weapons, and this goes for everybody can do this. If you're using dual wield, you know how it cost Varg 2 momentum to get a second attack? It only costs you 1 momentum to do a second attack.
So I think Adama previously had only pulled out one sword. Well, this is a 2-sword event. So
Sure.
both swords come out.
Okay. All right.
All right, so she's going to attack the one that's immediately in front of her.
Okay.
And
All right. You have 1 momentum in the pool. Are you using momentum at all?
I might have used a lot.
yeah, no. I think she's going to hold back a little bit because she's not quite sure with all the rest of these coming up.
Okay.
All right. Oh my God. Did
0
not succeed.
successes. Okay. You can spend that 1 momentum to get your second attack.
Should I spend another momentum?
We have a lot of people to murder, so
Okay.
yeah.
Do we?
All right. All right, we'll try this again. Yay,
There you go. All right, so they get their 2 dice to attempt to parry. Oh, and they parry it. So you come in with 2 swords. One swipes over their head. The other one clangs off of their shield.
We have another donation from Ergonomic Cat of
nice.
a momentum.
All right, and we will add that. Okay.
And it looks like actually Adama generated a momentum also.
Well, she got 2 successes. The parry was actually two to match, so there was no momentum actually generated there. Okay, Kett, you hear all of this. You are now coming in through the right side. So what are you doing?
Was Kett able to get the horses?
Sure.
Because if Kett's got the horses, Kett's riding in like towing like 3 horses behind him, like full speed. So the dude that's standing in the archway is about to become paste.
Okay, so you're gonna run him over with.
He's gonna go straight through him.
Okay, all right. That I think. Do you have? Oh, you didn't have it listed. Okay, all right. So we'll say that. Yeah, I mean he's just a minion. So we'll just say Mercenary 9 just gets. He's not even paying attention, and so when you come riding through, you just ride right over him. And go ahead and put yourself where you want to be, and you still have an action. That didn't count as your action. You got to trample for
horseback,
free.
Can I make it to the armored figure?
Yes.
Okay. So riding the horse. He lets go of the three other tethers
Okay.
and riding horse at a good gallop. He goes past the armored figure here, and in his he pulls his two-handed scimitar from his back and takes a wide cleave at our armored magistrate.
Okay. All right. You have your 1 point of momentum in the pool.
All right. Let's see what happens. We're going to hold on to that point of momentum for a minute.
Okay.
Come on, double click.
There you go. 2 successes. He obviously sees you coming. So the magistrate is, the magistrate, there we go, is wearing, like I said, he's wearing plate mail, and it's covered with a robe. He does not have a shield, so I would have to spend a doom for him to parry, which I will do. So he is going to attempt to parry his agility plus combat. So he needs an 11 or less. Fails. So you generate a point of momentum and you hit him.
Well, I'm going to spend that point of momentum on blood on steel.
Okay. What does that do?
So you do not hesitate to bloody your weapons. When rolling for damage with a melee attack, you may spend 1 momentum in order to add the vicious 1 quality to the weapon, or increase the weapon's vicious quality by 1 if it already possesses the quality.
Okay.
The scimitar is already a vicious 1, so it is now vicious 2.
Vicious 2. So every phoenix you roll counts as 2 extra damage instead of just 1.
Okay.
Nice.
And I also have no mercy, so whatever comes up blank will be coming extra. And let's get that damage.
Okay. Let's see. You've got blood on steel. You've got no mercy. So you can re-roll 2 of them. 2 of the 3 that didn't do anything.
Okay.
So you can just drag and drop d6s and we'll count that. That is still a nothing. And that is 2. So you did a total of 9 damage to him. Now he is the mercenary. Oh, he's the magistrate. So the magistrate has plate armor. You did 9 points of damage. He has a soak of 4 because of his plate mail. So you still did 5, which does a wound. He is now, you've got minions, and then the one step above minions is toughened. And so toughened actually have 2 wounds, whereas minions only have 1. So you took 1 of his wounds already. So I will mark that down. Okay. And so that was Kett. I think unless, Cornelia, unless you're going to do something in combat, it's going to be the mercenary's turn.
Nope, she's just gonna cry.
Okay. All right. So here's what happens. We're going to work this in what's called squads. So squad attacks are actually, because the ones that attacked you individually, they kind of worked individually, and they technically aren't really supposed to do that. So sorry about that. So they're forming up. So you've got a squad on each one of you here. And I'll say the sergeant actually moves over that way. So there we go. Okay. All right. So looks like Varg has 3 of them on them, and then looks like Adama has 4. So what that means is, in terms of how I'm attacking, I'm not going to. You don't roll for each one individually when they work as a unit. Those 3 that came in earlier, they actually acted on their own. They jumped the gun. They didn't act as a unit. So what we're looking at here is they're going to attack. They need bronze. So they need 10s. And so because they're minions, the group on Varg gets 3 dice and are making their attack. And got 0 successes and a complication. So what we'll say is that because Varg butchered most of their friends, I'm going to increase their next attack, or for the next round, I'm going to increase their difficulty by 1 because they're afraid of Varg. So, they're a little freaked out by Varg right now. And then the mercenary squad that moves.
I mean,
in,
who wouldn't be?
right? Mm-hmm. All right, so mercenaries.
After witnessing that display.
Right, squad comes in, and they're going to do the same thing. There's 4 of them, so they get 4 dice. And this is going at Adama. They need 10s. So that is 3 successes. Are you parrying? Now, you've already parried twice. Did you parry already? Yes.
Does that?
It's,
Is this a new round?
it's the same round. It's all the same round. So as long as it's the same round, it accumulates the number of doom you have to spend to be able to parry. So, yeah. So
I don't think she can parry in that case. We have 1 doom or 1.
No, it's doom. You're giving me doom, not spending your momentum.
Oh yeah, you don't need any more of that.
Okay. Okay. So you're just gonna let them stick you with spear then. Okay.
See how it goes.
All right. Okay. So the spear, not bad. So it's armor piercing 1. So you took a total of 4 vigor. And how much armor do you? Oh, let's see where it hit you. I keep double clicking. I mean, first thing, right leg. So, what
3 armor.
You have 3. So it goes through 1 point of armor. So you soak 2. So you take 2 vigor.
Okay.
So
So
you
you
just
just click 2 of those.
click the green box. Yeah, to get it, to reduce them. And other than that,
Stabbed
you're
in the
fine.
leg.
Nope.
Stabbed in the leg.
Yep.
Ow.
Little leg wound. All right. So.
Walk it off.
Right. So the sergeant actually works with their squad. And then as you kill the minions, the sergeant actually is still alive. It's that way you end up fighting the boss at the end, as opposed to if they're working in a squad. The magistrate is actually on his own. So the magistrate is going to swing back at Kett as you were on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So I need this is a 13 needed to hit. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay. So what the magistrate has a doom spend called leadership. Okay. So what because they're afraid of Varg, they're kind of not really engaging, and he barks an order at them like, go for the legs. And so what he's doing is he's spending a point of doom, and now that crew gets a bonus of 2d20 on their next roll. So, and that's just a doom spin, so that doesn't even count as his action. So he's going to make his attack. Let's see, he gets 2 dice. I'm going to go ahead and spend a point of doom to give him 3 dice to attack Kett. And he needed a 13, so he got 3 successes. Are you parrying?
And since my weapon does not have parry, I need to spend a momentum to parry, correct?
Spend a doom. Give me a doom to parry.
Give you a doom?
Yes.
We want you to live, so it may be worth it.
Yeah, you can have a doom.
Okay. All right, taking a point of doom, and you are now parrying. So right now he's looking at 3 successes. You're subtracting it by the number of successes you get with your parry. Now you can use the momentum for your parry roll if you want to roll 3 dice.
We only have the 1 left.
Or you could always, you can. And once you spend momentum, you could always give me doom.
No, we're gonna skip the momentum spend for this one.
Okay, so 2 dice.
Straight parry.
0 successes. So that gives me 2 momentum. And then he hits you with his 2-handed sword.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Bam. Where? Let's see. Hit location. In the head.
Whoa.
So 7 points, and let's see here. It's a 2-handed sword. The effect of a 2-handed sword, you got 2 effects. Vicious 1. So that makes it 9 points of damage to the head. So do you have armor on your head?
I don't.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So what that means is that that's 7, 8, 9. So you're going to take a wound. Now, you don't have armor there, but you can sacrifice an entire piece of armor somewhere else if you don't have enough armor on. So you have nothing on your head, but if you would say, I put my arm up just in the last moment and it completely wrecks my left arm armor to 0, that's a way you can avoid this wound. Or you could spend a fortune point to avoid this wound.
Oh, yeah, we'll spend a fortune point.
Okay. All right. You are spending a fortune point to, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just looking at the momentum spends to make sure I'm not shortchanging you, because I know that there's a way to. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. So you're spending a point. Go ahead and deduct your.
Yep, I deducted my fortune point.
Okay. And you avoid that wound.
Hooray!
Okay.
But I still took how much?
You still took
9 vigor.
9 vigor. Now, once fight's over, vigor damage goes away. So,
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But not your armor damage.
correct.
That is so interesting. I really like the way the mechanics are laid out for combat in this.
Yeah, and then if you would actually like have to either pay or work to like fix your armor
Cool.
in downtime. All right, so that's magistrate. That's all of them. So it looks like we're back around to the PCs. So who wants to go first? You got some. There's plenty of targets there.
Cornelia?
Yeah. So, Cornelia is gonna see Kett almost get fucking beheaded and scream.
Okay.
And then can I run? Oh God, sorry. I just made Varg do a breakdance move on the map.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
Asserting dominance.
How many spaces can I move?
You can actually, if all you're doing is moving, you can move completely off this board.
Okay, I want to move up to. I want to move up to this guy.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Do I know him?
Well, he's he's in his armor and everything. He's got an emblem. But I'll tell you what. Make a society check.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Society.
It's under personality.
Yes.
Okay. You got 2 successes. I'll say that you generated a point of momentum. If you spend that point of momentum, I will give you more information.
I will spend it then.
Okay. So not only is this guy, you've never seen this guy before, you are fairly certain that he's not even a magistrate. The emblem he has looks like it's like a forgery.
Okay.
So up close, like scrutinizing it up close, you're like, that isn't even what a magistrate, a Karajan magistrate. That's not even their badge.
So Cornelia is hysterical. And she is out of just like pure overwhelmness is going to just use her fist and bang on his leg and say, "Who are you? Who are you? And what was done to my grandmother? You tell me what happened. Who are you?"
Okay. That's still considered a melee attack, even though, I mean, because you could trip him up, you could do all kinds of weird stuff. So go ahead and make a melee attack just to see if you're effective at all. And
I feel like in the D&D 5e version of this, I would want to take the help action to give Kett advantage on stuff. That's the best way I could describe it. Like either distraction. I don't know. I'm not going to do any damage by banging on his plate mail, but like if I can help.
Well, all right. So then, okay. So you're assisting. So yeah, you're going to render assist to an ally. What you're going to do is you're going to actually on your bottom left there, you're going to click the button. So you're only rolling 1 die.
Okay.
And then you are assisting. So any successes that you get actually counts as successes for Kett. And this doesn't have to be melee. If you're distracting him or you're using some other skill, you can do that too.
Okay. So let me look at my skills. Can I use... Oh, jeez. Oh God, I don't have a lot of really high stuff, but can I use command?
Yeah. Yeah. How would you
Okay.
use command in this instance?
Just like I feel like her sense of like grief and confusion and like fury at like so many things are overwhelming right now to her, and this overwhelming sense of like grief and guilt is waving in. So like all of that stress and like tension and her upbringing is being like from a noble house, just like her grandmother comes out of her mouth in that moment of like, you tell me what the fuck is happening.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So yeah, just click the dice or click the dot so you're only rolling one die, and then go ahead and roll
Okay.
under command. You did not succeed.
Okay, that's
So-
fair.
So you're yelling at him. He's pretty focused on Kett at this point.
Okay.
Okay. So that was Cornelia. Who wants to go next?
I think it's about Varg's turn.
It's Varg time. Okay.
Heck yeah. He definitely watched like Cornelia dash over, and like that's gonna make him take like a frustrated sigh, like, "Ha! Varg told Cornelia to stay. Varg is here to protect. Curse the who are my gods again? think I
Your
mentioned
god is Ymir, the frost
Ymir.
giant.
Curse Ymir." Where is my character sheet?
And for invoking Ymir's name, I give you a point of momentum.
Thank you. It's funny because I've written it down, but I still had to ask, so thank you. All right. Varg invokes violence.
Ultra violence. Okay, so the mercenary is going to attempt. This is a new round, so the mercenary is going to attempt to parry. You got 2 successes, and they need 9, so that is 1 success. So you hit. So you're hitting that whole squad is what you're hitting right now.
Excellent.
So that checks out.
It's on par still.
Yep.
I generated a momentum.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and click that.
Toss that in. Add my damage.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that looks quite nice.
Okay, so it's vicious already. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you get a reroll because of no
my
mercy.
gosh.
So go ahead and reroll one of those that your one miss, and that counts
Always
as
a
another
one.
one. One is always a good. So
Yeah.
that's what I say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is going to negate the armor, cause 2 wounds. You already caused a wound. That's going to cause another wound. So that is going to be 3 minions.
Oh wow. Oh gosh, how to describe this murder? I'm really gonna have to up my creativity. I think this it's a bit more of a practiced action. Upon seeing the person that like Varg is supposed to protect, like at the end of the day, like they're still mercenaries, and this is a job that they have to do. So all the training that Varg has done with Kett and all the other mercenaries kind of sinks in finally, and he kind of like squares his feet, and then with a more angled, there's much more momentum this time, and there is no stopping on their armor. This way he is just accurately able to cleave through the 3 minions.
Okay.
And do I need to spend that point of momentum to kind of correctly write myself after?
Nope, that's free. So you can go ahead and correct.
okay.
Or no, are you talking about the unbalanced? Yes, you do.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So you would spend the point of momentum to correct keep from being unbalanced. Now you can move to close in on the sergeant for free. You don't have to spend anything to do that because that's
Beautiful.
all right. And you can spend
Sergeant.
you can move there too if you wanted to engage the guy who just almost brained your friend.
I mean, that's what I think. That's what what Varg would do for Kett.
Okay.
Like,
And then you
plus
could-
Cornelia's there. Like this. It's what we're about.
All right. And you can spend 2 momentum to get a second attack.
Oh, you know I will.
Okay.
Before I describe what happens, only one success.
One success. He does not have parry as one of his weapon abilities, so I'm gonna have to spend a doom for him to. This is the magistrate for him to parry. That is agility plus combat, so that he's gonna need an 11, and he fails. So you still hit him. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, I like this.
Okay, and here we are again. So you have one of those dice you can re-roll, or is it 2? Let me double check your list here. You can do 2. You can re-roll 2 of them. So go ahead and re-roll your 2 dice. There.
1. Whoops.
Yeah, that's good.
How did it end up with 2? Oh, 1 and a 4.
Okay. So it's vicious. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you do 12 damage to the magistrate. He has 4 soak. So that is 9 or 8 points of damage. He's already taken a wound. So how do you kill him?
Again, after like that sweeping motion to eliminate the minions, Varg takes like this moment to lunge towards this magistrate, and with a downward swipe towards this piece of shit's head. Oh, he's on a horse, isn't he?
No. He
No?
is not. He is not on the horse.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, like, this is an attack from behind. If he was facing Kett, like, this is absolutely something merciless and something kind of whatever. The fact of the matter is he's dead.
Right.
I thought he was on a horse too. That's why I hit his leg.
Yeah, I thought he was mounted.
No, he's just kind of the icon that I use. He's just kind of got one leg up, so it looks like.
I would have run his ass down too.
All right, so Varg comes in and boom, 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 boom. All right, Adama, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I have a bunch of friends here.
Yes.
So
A few.
see what I can do with all of my friends. All right. I'm just gonna start with a straight melee attack, I think.
Okay. That is 2 successes. They will attempt to parry. They're going to need 9s on a parry. And fail, so you generate a point of momentum.
Ooh.
And
All right. And sword. There's no difference in the 2 on the damage. So just roll straight damage, right?
correct.
All right.
Okay, so that is, well, unfortunately, swords don't have the crazy.
But
What?
but I have a thing. I have a
Okay.
thing. I have a thing.
Okay.
I have a thing. Hold on, let me look it up under main. I have blood on steel, and I think I can add vicious to it.
Yes,
I can spend a momentum to add vicious to the weapon.
correct.
So I would like to spend a momentum.
Go right ahead. And do you have blood on steel? Do you have no mercy?
I do.
Then you so blood on. No, let me open you up and see what I can see here. So you've got no mercy, blood on steel, and I think that's the 2. So you can actually re-roll 2 of your damage dice.
Awesome. All right. So just take the d6 and drop it in.
Correct.
1.
That's another effect. And 1 more. And that's a nothing. So it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So with 8 damage, they've got 2 soak, so that's going to put them at 6. So you're going to kill one of the one of the squad, one of the minions.
Adama's like, one of those axes.
Meanwhile, you've got Varg like heaving for air after all that murdering.
But it's a precision instrument, right? You know, one at a time. And it usually do 6 at a time.
So you could spend now you're dual wielding, so it only costs
Yes.
1 momentum to take your second attack.
Oh, yes, we'll take a second attack.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
So that's a succeed and a complication.
Ooh, complication.
So we will say that. Go ahead and roll your damage, and we'll determine what the complication is after that.
Okay.
Okay. So you are out of momentum. So that's going to be 7 points of damage minus their 2. That kills another minion.
2.
There you go.
2 minions.
Okay. The complication we'll say is that it's getting really, really gory around here. So any like movements, any movements is going to like athletics checks or acrobatics and things like that it's going to be DC 2 instead of DC 1. So if you're going to try moving around or climbing something or whatever, it'll be, and this is for everybody in the air in this slaughterhouse. Okay. So Kett, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, Varg having done all the heavy lifting, most of the, committing most of the murder, Kett will then spur his horse back over to these 3 goons and I guess try to, again, run his horse through them and swing his sword as he goes. I mean,
Okay.
he's an imposing figure on horseback.
Sure. So are you actually making an attack though?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
All right. Do your worst. Nice. That is 2 successes. I'll say that they are, well, they can still parry. But I have to spend 2 doom to do it. They get 3 dice because there's 3 of them, and got 1 success. So you hit.
All right. And so, because one of them parried, I don't gain any momentum?
Correct. They act as a unit, so yeah, you just
Okay.
don't get any momentum on that.
All right.
All right.
What do I think of that?
Yeah, well. Not everybody can Varg them,
I
so-
will re-roll the 1.
Okay.
Did that not roll?
I didn't see anything.
It said 1.
Oh, did it? Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Okay. So this, and you're using your 2-handed scimitar, so that's vicious 1, right?
Yep.
And you don't have any momentum to spend.
I have no momentum to spend.
So that's going to be 8. So that's going to be 6. That will kill 1.
Fantastic. Then the blade of the large scimitar takes the top of one gentleman's head off in like almost a flip top motion, as if Popeye was opening a can of spinach. It's like, and the skull cap bounces off the other 2 guys.
Okay. All right. Now it's their turn. And you've effectively killed 11, no, like almost 15 of their friends. So they are leaving. They are running for the hills.
Varg wishes you good day. Bless you.
So you are free to pursue. As a matter of fact, as they're running, I'll say that for free, you can get a free swing. So Adama and Kett, you can swing at these 2 that are leaving your presence for free. And then Varg, you can swing at the mercenary sergeant as he's running past. And all you need is one success because a routed enemy is super easy to hit. And they're not parrying, so go ahead and roll your damage.
All right.
Okay. So you wound him, but he actually does get away. What about Kett?
Kett just kind of rides alongside this guy and keeps kicking him toward the arch.
Okay.
He's not trying to kill him. He's been a grunt. He knows what the life is like. So he just continues to kind of embarrassingly kick him away.
Okay. And what's Varg going to do?
He'll put his axe up, like flat towards the sergeant. Varg would like to ask you a question, and then he'll turn towards Cornelia. Varg doesn't actually know what questions you ask. Cornelia, we have hostage. This is your time.
Cornelia is going to turn slightly to the left and vomit
Okay.
because Cornelia has never seen anybody killed in front of her before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cornelia's never seen anybody varged in front of her. That's a
That's a whole level.
That's a whole nother thing.
It is.
Yeah. So after vomiting, she's going to look at the sergeant and say, "Who are you?"
All right. He's now got his hands up, and he says, he points at the guy on the ground, and he says, or the magistrate. He's like, "Hey, we were just paid to do a job. We were just paid to do a job."
"Who is that?" And she's going to point at the magistrate, the faker.
All right. He says, he said he was a magistrate. I don't know.
Okay, well, he's not.
I mean, he says he had a picture. He had a drawing of who we were looking for.
Do you know what happened to my grandmother?
No, I don't. I really don't. If you're talking about,
Faja. Do you know if is she really dead?
and he kind of looks over at Varg and over at Adama as you guys are kind of closing in on him, and he's like, yes, that's what I was told. I was told that you killed her.
Varg would ask that Cornelia turn around.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who paid you? Who told you?
Miss, all I know is that I was paid to be here at this time. I was told to listen to what he said, that he was a magistrate, and that I do know that he was supposed to get something, bring you in because you had stolen something, some sort of a bottle or something, or some sort of a container. I don't know, and to take it from you.
Who are you supposed to report back to?
All right, he kind of sits there for a second. He says his name is Sidonis. And that's where we'll end for this one.
That guy.
Adonis.
I think I'm ready to say that I hate this guy.
Through and through.
All right, so that's combat for you in
Hold on.
Conan.
Just to be clear, there's a Cenobus and there's a Sidonis.
Well, the group has changed the name to Sidonis. So I'm just
okay.
kidding.
Oh my god, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I seriously was looking at my notes like, wait, are there two guys that have names that are that close? Holy crap.
Funny when
That's
that happens.
So funny. I'm so sorry. It is
So-
Cenobus.
All my rotes wrote. Oh my god, I've had Sidonis in here, so I think I might be the cause.
Oh, okay.
It's Sidonis now,
Yeah,
right?
he's Sidonis now. Yeah.
Okay.
Sidonis now. Okay.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will be back in 2 weeks to see what else, what other mayhem we can cause. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.